Hey everybody, this is going to be my top 10 personal advice for the sick. I want you to know I'm not a doctor, I'm just some dude with epilepsy. These are my personal tips from my experience as a sick. I'm not medically certified in any way. Um, Also, I have a video on things that I advise to do the day of a seizure if you want to check that out. That's just another little recommendation. Let's get started. Anyways, this isn't meant to be a product placement, but I want to recommend the nutritional drink mix Boost. If you have a low appetite and you need something in your stomach when you're taking your medicine, this stuff tastes like chocolate milk, but doesn't have that kind of nasty aspartame, fake sugar taste, which I personally am not a fan of. But it's really good to try not to take your meds on an empty stomach. I mean, uh, that's axiomatic pretty much, but I think that this stuff really helps, especially if you can't stomach a full meal. It helps to get something in your stomach so you have your nutrition and your vitamins and pretty much just something to eat if you can't, like, you know, eat a full cheeseburger sized meal. Not that anyone really should eat a cheeseburger in the morning health wise, but still, you know what I mean, I think. Number two on your is to learn your auras and your symptoms so you can spot a seizure if you're epileptic like me, or if you're having a bad episode approaching for whatever your illness is, if something's about to flare up. Learn your symptoms so you can see it coming. And you know, because these things usually don't just pop up out of nowhere. You can usually spot them from kind of far away if you really look. You know, you may have a completely different illness than me, and you probably do. But I would really recommend write things down so you can remember symptom wise, especially if you have short term memory loss, which is a really common symptom of many prescriptions and disorders. At least it is with mine. So if you have any of the same stuff as me in terms of short term memory loss, write down your symptoms so you can remember them in the future, and you can spot your auras and you can spot your cycles and you can identify them and know their lengths and everything, you know. Number three is going to be careful who you take advice from. This is not to sound cynical or anything or like a conspiracy theorist who doesn't trust the establishment, but just be careful taking advice from people who don't have the same life experience as you. They may not have a lot of the knowledge on your condition that you have, since they haven't been there, especially if you have an uncommon illness. Double check everything people tell you because it might be BS, and unless you have some sort of really dedicated caretaker, nobody else is there editing that bogus that you're receiving unless you have that caretaker or something. Like I said, sorry if I just repeated myself. Anyways, think over serious procedures first. You know, if you're about to have a surgery to have something removed or something, you know. Not to sound grim, it's just that some things can't be undone. And even though they might be the helpful thing for some people, others I know really regret those choices and they can't undo them. So just think twice before you have that done, because even though it might be your saving grace, you really want to know that it is before you go through with any irreversible medical procedures in general. Just be careful is all I'm saying. Not that you haven't done your research. I'm just saying be careful because some things you frankly can't undo. Um, Anyways, number five is to stay open-minded to new solutions. Let me scroll down just a wee bit here. Stay open-minded to new solutions. The solution to your problem is most likely something you hadn't foreseen in the beginning. You know, like for me, it was kind of like CBD, and I never was into that whole scene before that. You know, so stay open-minded to credible solutions. And don't do things that defy common sense out of desperation for a solution or out of frustration, you know? That is when you're at your most vulnerable for bad side effects and being taken advantage of by uncredible medical advice from a bad doc or from someone who frankly just claims that they know way more than they actually do. Um, or just doing something stupid on your own, like those people who like well, I don't want to recommend any stupid solutions, obviously, but just don't throw your shoulders up when you don't know what to do, and be careful what medical paths you take. If you wake up in an unfamiliar place ever, namely like a hospital or an ambulance, try not to freak out if you can, and just take a deep breath. It can be really, really scary, especially the first time, and if family isn't there with you. The first time it happened to me, I was like a 22-year-old adult. I was already out of junior college, and I'd never even had a seizure. But I woke up in an ambulance after never having a seizure before, and it was my first one. I can't take that scariness away from your experience of waking up in an unfamiliar place for the first time. But I hope you know that you aren't alone in dealing with this, and um, it seems a little less alien now that you know that other people have gone through it too. It happened to me just a couple of years ago. Life is going to change somewhat drastically. Still, that doesn't mean it's over. I think that the good qualities that made you, whoever you are, they're still there. And even if it's easy to feel obliterated and have a lot of nihilism inside, uh, please remember that through the bad times, the sickness hasn't taken away your humanity, and it isn't your fault if any idiot has ever told you so. Try to find out what hobbies or daily encounters you have, which may be exasperating the issue, such as like strobe lights for epileptics or certain foods that you might need to change up your diet with. If you lose something, it's really easy to give up, like personal relationships or friendships. But that can give way like a rose that's been pruned. Whether that be a personally felt loss or a relationship with friends and family. The future isn't dead, and not to negate anyone's emotions that some people may feel. But I just want you to know that even kind of when you're looking down at your feet, shit's not over, and there's still a future, even if you can't kind of imagine it right now. Uh, Number 8 on here is going to be keep a medicine log. Write it down so you don't accidentally take it twice. That's a friendly reminder. And be careful if you throw up or have any pill swallowing difficulties for the same reason so you don't take something twice. Again, friendly reminder. Also, it makes you look more legit and knowledgeable to doctors if you have to reproduce some evidence of your illness or if they ask for a symptom for the same reasons, especially if you have an intermittent illness. And I have some stupid antivirus program popping up that, oh man, that's annoying. Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, I really want you to know um, to keep a good log of things for the same reasons. Um, so you have some evidence to reproduce, like when the doctors ask you for, like a need for a prescription, like a need for that prescription to be refilled or something like that, or if you're trying to get on disability. Anyways, let's go on down to number 9 here. Let's scroll down it just a wee bit. Number 9 on here is if you feel awfully, don't fall into the easy rut. I've done that so many times. Please take it from me. Don't do that. Take the needed recovery time if you're sick or injured, of course. But if you feel awful because you're unhappy with your routine, look at what's making you depressed. Is it isolation or lack of exercise? Is it nutrition? Whatever it is with your routine, it's probably something with that that's making you unhappy. So identify that thing and change it. I'm unhappy when I sit around too much, so I have to get out and get like taking a walk when that happens to me. Identify what's bugging you and killing the vibe of your routine and try to focus on changing that element of things. Taking off one bite of a problem at a time may make it a little less impossible and overwhelming. Number 10 on here is please don't get taken advantage of. Please, please, all of you deserve better than that. whether it be by a bad spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, or just by a bad doctor, actually, because those are out there too. You know, there's great doctors. I have a great doctor, but please, don't let a bad one who's just frankly trying to, uh, they're just trying to, like get you into like antidepressants or extra surgeries or whatever. Uh, Please don't be taken advantage of by people like that. If those solutions worked for you, I'm very glad they did, by the way. But still, I have been recommended a lot of crap over the years that I frankly don't need and didn't help my condition at all. So know your condition and spend time to research your curiosities. The internet's a good place, but also, talking to your doctor, talking to your friends who might have the illness too, just so you know if you're being misinformed. I hope this helped somewhat, and thank you guys for watching. This is specifically my personal advice as a sick person with multifocal epilepsy towards other people who may have chronic illnesses that were life altering or that they got later in life. Just remember to keep your spirits up because, um, frankly, shit's not over even when you can't foresee, a better future or end to things. Not really an end to things, but a, a, a better result to things. Um, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna bow out now. So thank you guys for watching. If I seem a little bit, coarse in this video verbally, sorry, it's like early in the morning. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.